Are you able to see my screen, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजम् अप्रमेयम् सीतापतिं रघुकुलादीपम् आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षम् रामं निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि. Yuddha Kanda, we are doing the final part of Yuddha Kanda. It has 120 chapters. Kujantam Rama Ramethi Madaram Madaraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam Valmiki Munisim Asya Kavita Vanacharinha Shrinvan Rama Kathanadam Konayati Parangatam Yapiban Satatam Rama Charita Amrita Sakaram Atriptastam Munim Vande Prachetasam Kalmasham Vaidehi Saikam Suradramatali Haime Mahamantape Madhi Pushpakamasane Maname Virasane Sustitam Agri Vacheti Prapanjanaste Tattvam Munibhya Param Vyakyantam Paradadabi Parivratam Ramam Bhaje Shyamalam. So we should always have immense gratitude for every opportunity we get to recite Valmiki Ramayana and to listen to Valmiki Ramayana. So let's just go all the way down. So Indrajit is dead, and we have finally gone through the death of Ravana as well. So Ravana was killed. It took 7 days. Lord Rama came to, this is according to Valmiki Ramayana's time. Other Puranas, he has come at a different time. He killed Ravana at a different time. For example, we know that in the latest Treta Yuga, he killed Ravana on Sri Rama Vijayotsava day, which is very close in it's the 10th day of Navaratri, and it's or is also known as Dashara. It is also known as Vijay Dashami. So it's on that day that the Lord killed Ravana. But just imagine, it's Vijay Dashami literally means it is the 10th day. Navaratri starts on Pratipad, and then it goes on to the 10th day. But as we saw, it's very clearly mentioned that Indrajit was killed on Chaturdasi, and the Lord Rama killed Ravana after 7 days. And so that means he killed him on Sashti. From new moon day to +7, it becomes Sashti, and therefore you can see that there are differences in the pastimes. Nobody is wrong. All the scriptures, bona fide scriptures, are all bona fide. They're all correct. It's just that Lord Rama appears in multiple Treta Yugas, and therefore there are variations in the pastimes. So if someone wants to celebrate a couple of days before Sri Ramanavami, that is also completely correct. Someone wants to celebrate during Vijayadashmi, that is also completely correct. There is nothing wrong. The only point that we should make sure is that we celebrate the Lord's major pastimes. Killing Ravana was not an easy feat, and the Lord killed him so easily. And not only did he kill him, he provided opportunity to innumerable bhaktas to serve him. That is the most wonderful thing. So many bhaktas got to serve him so beautifully during the war. And these same bhaktas, they serve him in a different capacity at a later stage. So it's all beautiful. It is all wonderful. And this is what we need to remember. Now, we have also seen that the Lord is praised. The Lord is praised by all the devatas. They're all praising the Lord. It's just miraculous. It's so fantastic. He's just the greatest of the greatest. And some things that could not have been done by anybody were actually done by Ravana, by Lord Rama. Ravana was the tyrant, and he made the world cry. And Rama has now come in to make the world smile again, to make the world happy, to give peace. That's what the Lord is all about. So, yes. So far we have seen that Vibhishana doesn't really shed any tear for any of his brothers or his nephews or his friends, or previous friends who all passed away. But then right now, suddenly he sees his mighty brother. Suddenly he sees his mighty brother, and he begins to weep. So now the question might arise. So if he is so attached to his brother, why did he oppose him? But that is not a valid question. Vibhishana opposed Ravana because Vibhishana chose the path of righteousness and Ravana chose the path of unrighteousness. So therefore, automatically, their mindsets are different. Their paths are divergent. Their viewpoints were divergent. So they are never going to see eye to eye. But still, Vibhishana is such a great devotee. And great devotees have very soft, tender hearts. Very soft, very tender heart. And therefore, he has seen Ravana at his highest glory. He has seen Ravana, dashing about here and there, making the worlds, tremble before him. He was very powerful. The very name Ravana inspired a lot of fear, and he was the strongest of the Rakshasas. He has done so much. He was the one who got back Lanka. Lanka was previously built for Kubera. It once upon a time used to belong to the Rakshasas, and then Kubera took it up, and at that time it was rebuilt by Vishwakarma, and it was so beautiful and all that. And then Ravana was the one who came over, and he got back Lanka for the Asuras. So he did so much for the Asuras. He was very prominent. He was very everyone was very afraid of him. All of those things happened, and this particular Ravana is now lying on the ground, and he's thinking, it's too much for him. It is too much for him, and he says that the Ravana who used to lie on the softest of bed is now lying on the bare earth. And and my words now they have come true. I kept on saying that it's the best thing to do is to take the shelter of Lord Rama. You return Sita Ma back to Lord Rama, and then take his shelter. This is the best thing. And oh my Ravana, you did not do this. You did not do this. You did not understand that that when Prahasta died, Indrajit died, Kumbhakarna died, Atikai, Narantak, Devantak, Trishiras, Prajanga, all of these Yupaksha, Shonitaksha, or Makaraksha, all of these great stalwart heroes of the Rakshasa clan, all of them died. And even then, you did not understand that what you did was wrong. Not even the death of Indrajit, your most favorite son, your most powerful son, your most valiant son, not even the death of Indrajit could cause any change in your heart. And now look at this. The city of Lanka used to be so bright, full of dance and songs, and full of perfumes and everything. And now it is looking like a graveyard. It is looking like a cemetery because the Lord of Lanka is no more. And he says that Rama is the mighty tempest. Rama is the tempest. So, in a storm, in a tornado, no matter how strong a tree is, a tornado will just wipe it away. Similarly, an elephant might look very huge, but an elephant can be defeated by a much smaller lion. And therefore, imagine this. Uh, Ravana, in size wise, he is huge. He is like the mighty mountain. But Rama, only 8 feet tall. He's only 8 feet because he's not showing his divine qualities right now, isn't it? He is not taking his Vishwarupa or anything of that sort. That was not the intention of his avatar. That was not the intention. It's not that Rama cannot show it, it's just that it's not the intention, it is not the purpose of it. And Rama is just 8 feet tall, puny, tiny little being. But still, he was able to defeat this mad elephant called as Ravana. And therefore, we need to understand that no matter how big, no matter how small the Lord's form is, the Lord is always more powerful. See, compared to a tree, a tempest is very huge, a tornado is very huge. Even then, the Lord is powerful. Compared to one elephant, a lion is very small, but even then, the lion is more powerful. So the Lord can be lighter than the lightest, heavier than the heaviest, smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest, but still, he is always greater than the greatest. He will never ever be subservient to, he's not second to anyone. As we saw, Paurasham Chaprati Dvandastvaha. Like Rama's Paurasham has got no equal, is second to none. Rama's prowess, Paurasham means manliness. Rama's manliness is second to none. So the Lord will voluntarily choose to be bound for his devotees. He will voluntarily choose to be summoned by his devotees. He will voluntarily choose to pray to his devotees, as in Lord Shiva. He will voluntarily choose to do all of these things. But that doesn't mean that he is smaller than anybody. No, he is always the greatest of the greatest. The Lord will voluntarily accept a lot of things. Out of his immense love for his devotees, he will choose to be bound by his mother or to be bound by Indrajit so that Garuda can come and serve him. He'll be bound by Brahmastra so that Hanuman can come and serve him. He will happily do all these things. But it doesn't mean that he is less than anything else or anybody else. Mattah parataram nanyat kinchit asti, Dhananjaya. There is no truth superior to me. There is nothing. There is nothing actually. So Vibhishana is crying like this. Vibhishana is crying. But Rama, his heart bleeds. His heart bleeds for his bhaktas. He's so merciful. You remember, Sugriva kept on saying, "Oh, my brother Bali, he was the one who stole my kingdom, my wife, my kingdom, my wife. You have to kill Bali. You have to kill Bali. You have to kill Bali." He kept on saying, but when Bali was actually killed, Sugriva was very sad and he was crying. So Rama was also crying with him. He couldn't bear it. He couldn't bear the fact that his bhakta was in tears. So Rama was also crying. He was also crying with him. This is Rama. This is Rama. So emotional. Because he's a person. If we can have emotions, where did we get these emotions? All of these emotions have one source, and that is the Lord. All of these emotions. Everything has been originating from Janmadi Asiyataha. Everything starts and ends with him. That's it. So emotions also, when Sugriva was so sad that Vali passed away, or Vali is about to die, he was crying and Rama was crying with him. And right now he's consoling his other friend. He's consoling Vibhishana. So Ravana was the one who killed Jatayu, who kidnapped Mother Sita, who was a tyrant for all the sages, the celestials, the charanas, the devas, gandharvas, nagas, uragas, pannagas, all of these various species, they were all troubled by this Ravana. And still, Rama doesn't have a bad word to say for him. He says, he was not vanquished like an ordinary weakling. So Rama is saying, I myself came down. So this is the subtext. He doesn't say it directly. The subtext is that the Lord himself came down, walked in the forest for 14 years, and then waged a terrible battle to kill him. So, can the Lord kill without a battle? Of course. We all die. All human beings, all animals, everybody dies every single second of every single day. So for the Lord, it doesn't matter whether it's a Jivatma is one whale or whether the Jivatma is one a tiny little microbe. It doesn't really matter to him. Because the Jivatma, from his perspective, the Jivatma is just 1/10,000 the size of the tip of the hair. That's it. So he can make sure that the body, that the Jivatma doesn't reside in that material body at any time. He can decide it. But still, Ravana, because of his previous life as Jaya, one of the gatekeepers of Vaikunta. By the way, Jaya Vijaya story is never mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. We get to know this only from Srimad Bhagavatam. But because of Jaya's bhakti, love for the Lord and everything, the Lord chose to appear to save his devotee. The Lord chose to appear. So therefore he's saying, no, he's not an ordinary being. You shouldn't cry like this. So Krishna also says the same thing, that if Arjuna were to win, he would get the kingdom. And if he were to die, he would go into Virgati. He would go into the heavens where true Kshatriyas are. True Kshatriyas, when they die, they go to one particular heaven. Because the Kshatriya rule is that they should die in battle, and therefore um, Krishna says, either way, Arjuna, either way, you'll either die or you will live. If you live, you're going to enjoy the kingdom. And if you die, you will go to the heavens meant for the Kshatriyas who die in battlefield. So either way, there is no lamentation for you. Then why are you crying? So Krishna says that. Here also Rama is saying the same thing. My dear Vibhishna, don't worry. He has gone to that loka. He Ravana is very intelligent, and now he's praising him. Ravana is very intelligent. He had conquered the three worlds. Remember that even the Devatas and not even Indra were able to defeat him. He has won great fame. And yet, end happens to us all. End happens to us all. And this great warrior must either be killed or he will kill in battle. And therefore, now we need to think about what is the next step. See, Rama is so perfect. Does the Lord actually have enemies? No, he is actually Ajata Shatru. The enemy of the Lord is not even born, because technically nobody is an enemy of the Lord. Technically, out of foolishness, certain jivatmas may say, "Oh, I want to oppose the Lord." But and because the jivatma wants to see the Lord in the mood of an enemy, the Lord will happily reciprocate that, because that's what the Lord does. But technically, the Lord doesn't despise anyone. He doesn't consider anyone his enemy. No, the Lord is Ajata Shatru. The Lord is Ajata Shatru. The enemy of the Lord is not even born. That is who the Lord is. And therefore, He always has a kind word for everybody. He always has a very kind word for everyone. And therefore, He says, now you need to make sure that the next task is all done. And then He says, then Vibhishana says, now I am the only person who is surviving this whole Rakshasa clan. I'm the only survivor, because all the other brothers are dead, all the nephews are dead. Nobody else is alive at the moment. There are no other. There is nobody else. So he says, "I'm the only one who is capable of doing this. I'm the only one who is capable of doing this." And then Rama understands that Vibhishana uh, doesn't want to do doesn't want to do the funeral rites of someone as sinful as Ravana. So he just gives a gentle reminder: the last rites should not be abandoned, my dear Vibhishna. The last rites should not be abandoned. All enmity ends with death. And so we shouldn't continue to bear ill will towards one who is dead. Sita has already been achieved. This whole war was to liberate Sita, and we have already achieved that. So now that Sita has already been liberated, why should we still be enemies with Ravana? So he says, perform the funeral rites for Ravana, and because you are my friend, your brother is mine too. Look at that. Look at that. How simple it is for Rama to forgive everything. He doesn't take offense at all. See, so what does this mean? So the deeper understanding of this sentence is that, let's go through the shloka. Marananantani, that means after death. Vairani, that means enmity. Nirvritam na prayojanam, there is no use for it. Kriyatamasya, that samskaro, that means samskar means it's there are 16 samskaras that a jivatma has to go through in life. Of course, not all jivatmas do that, and this primarily for human beings, of course. But Upanayana ceremony is not done for women and all that. So it depends. It depends on what gender we are in, and accordingly we should have those samskaras done. But certain things such as the kriyam, that means the funeral rites, so those should be done for all. And he's saying that mama pesya yathatava, I'm asking you, you please do this, just to please me, please do this. So Vibhishana has not yet answered, and at that time the wives of Ravana, the thousands of wives of Ravana, they all run out of the northern gate. They all run out of the northern gate and they come and see Ravana lying on the ground. So they have seen Ravana lying on his huge bed, with his 20 arms, eyes flashing, his 10 heads, and all that. They have seen him only like that. And to them, seeing Ravana on the bare earth was unbearable, unbearable. And they say, is this the same Ravana who was able to defeat the Dikpalas, such as Yama and Kubera? Gandharvas and Devatas and Nagas and Kinnaras used to quake at the very name of Ravana. And now that Ravana has now met his end at the hands of a human being. And they say, by bringing Sita Ma, Ravana sealed his fate. So do you remember in Aranyakand, as soon as Ravana kidnaps Mother Sita and the whole world is plunged in great grief, Brahma says, the task is done. So we were in Aranyakand at that time. After that, Kishkinda Kand, after that, Sundara Kand, after that, Yuddha Kand, and towards the end of Yuddha Kand is when Ravana is actually killed. But right in the middle of Aranya Kand, Brahma had declared, the task is done. The task is done. The very fact that that Ravana kidnapped Sita Ma sealed his fate. That sealed his fate. And he said, the only person who had the courage to tell him that he's wrong repeatedly, over and over again, was Vibhishana, and that Vibhishana was kicked out. That Vibhishana was kicked out of the kingdom. Now, if only Ravana had taken Vibhishana's counsel, and if only he had returned Sitama to Rama with the full honors, then Rama would have become the friend of the Rakshasas. And Rama would have been friends with Ravana as well. And therefore, he wouldn't have killed Ravana. So these ladies say, all of us wouldn't have become widows. And they were all crying. They were crying. So now Mandodari, the main wife of Ravana, looks at the body of her husband, and he sees she sees the Lord. She knows that her beloved husband was killed by the Supreme Lord, and she says, when Ravana used to get angry, the Devas and Danavas and the Dikpalas, nobody was able to withstand his anger. Look at Rama. Within a short time, he destroyed the entire Janasthan Rakshasa outpost. A single Duta of this puny mortal destroyed the entire city, the city where even the Devatas cannot arrive. One single envoy destroyed the entire city. Nobody has even dreamt of crossing this mighty ocean. And Rama built that bridge with his mighty Vanaras within just 5 days. All of these suggest that this is no mortal. This is not a mortal. Is he Yama or is he Indra? No, he is the one who resides in the heart of all living beings. He is without beginning, middle, or end. He is mightier than the mightiest, and the creator who is greater than even Devatas and Brahma. So Brahma is, yes, he is the creator, but Brahma is only the secondary creator of this material universe. The primary creator is always the Supreme Lord. Because a creator need not get the intelligence, the actual creator need not get the intelligence to create from someone else. But what does Bhagavatam first verse say? Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya Muhyanti Yat Suryaha. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya. So in the heart of Brahma, O Vasudeva, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva, in the heart of Brahma, O Vasudeva, you are the one who inspires this Brahma and who gives Brahma the knowledge of how to create this universe. So therefore, Brahma is only the secondary creator. He is not the primary. Did he create this material world? Absolutely. But he is not the main creator of this material world. So the material world comes into existence when Lord Mahavishnu breathes out. It collapses when Lord Mahavishnu breathes in. And when he breathes out, every single universe comes out as a Brahmanda, as like an egg. Anda means egg. So everything comes like an egg. And in each and every egg, like universe, there is one Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. All of them are just one Vishnu, but that Vishnu expands himself across millions and millions and innumerable Brahmandas. And from the Nabhi of Padmanabha or Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, we get Lord Brahma. So that's why he is known as Swayambhu. He himself appears from the Nabhi or the navel of Lord Padmanabha or Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then he is continuing his tapasya. He's thinking, oh, what should I do right now? So he does a tapasya. He gets the knowledge. Okay, so this is my template. This is how I need to build this universe. This universe is going to have 14 planetary systems. There is going to be one sun and one moon. So all of these are the various complexities. All of these things he gets to understand. And then he goes about building it. But he is not the original creator. He is not. So Mandodari is saying that he is a creator greater than Brahma. Rama is the creator greater than Brahma. That means that he is the Supreme Lord himself. He is Lord Vishnu, the valorous, carries the conch, the disc, the mace. He has a Srivatsa. Srivatsa is a place where Mother Lakshmi resides. Shri on his chest, and it's in the form of a white curl. and he is the protector of all the universes, and he is never separated from Mahalakshmi. Rama is never separated. Here, is never separated from Mother Sita. Here, Mandodari doesn't use that term, the inseparable as sun and sunshine. She doesn't use that. But, we get to see. So these are the prayers of Mandodari. We will see that as well. So Rama is a human being who is actually the incarnation of Narayana, the Lord of all the worlds. And surrounded by the Devatas in the shape of Vanaras, he has killed Ravana. So we shouldn't think Vanaras are, just monkeys just trying to jump up and down. They're not foolish. They're all Devatas. They're all Devatas. So if we think that those Vanaras are just foolish monkeys, we're doing great Vaishnava aparadh, because they're not. They are highly elevated souls. They are actually even more elevated than the Devatas, because as Devatas, more elevated than the Devata forms, because as Devatas, they couldn't face Ravana in battle. They couldn't face him in battle. They cried and they wept and they were hiding. In Uttarakhand, we will see a couple of instances where all the four Dikpalas will hide. They will assume different forms. They are so scared of Ravana. So Indra will take the form of a peacock. Varuna takes the form of a swan. Yama takes the form of a crow, and Kubera takes the form of a golden lizard. So they were so scared that Devatas took form of such beings. They took the form of such beings. And therefore, it has to be known that as Devatas, they couldn't face Ravana in battle. But look at how valiant they were as Vanaras. Because as Vanaras, they were like, Rama, you tell us what to do, we will do it. That's it. You give us the instructions, we will do it. It was a mood of complete surrender. It was a mood of complete surrender. So we shouldn't think, oh, Vanaras, they are so lowly. No. Of course, the current Vanaras, they are just monkeys, because these Vanaras have already done their task, and they've already done the service, and we will see that all of them return to Vaikuntha Loka. All of them go back, except for a couple, and we will discuss that during Yuddha Kanda. But this is very important for us to note that the Vanaras are highly elevated. So Mandodari says, this puny mortal that you were talking about is actually the Supreme Lord himself. And the Vanaras that we were talking about are actually celestial Devatas. So the fight was not against one human being or two human beings and some apes that are found in the forest, but in fact, the fight was against Sriman Narayana and all the celestials. That was the fight against. And now Mandodari sings the glories of Rama, the person who killed her husband. See, when Rama is standing, especially when he is leaning on his bow, that form is so beautiful that Tara was also not able to be angry with the Lord. She actually says, Rama, whatever you did was correct. She says that. Look at Mandodari's prayers. Look at Mandodari's prayers. She says, Vyaktamesha, Vyaktam, certainly, Esha, he, this, I am very certain. I am extremely certain. Mahayogi, this great yogi, this great renunciate, Paramatma Sanatanaha. He is actually Paramatma. He is no Jivatma. He is actually Paramatma. Paramatma. That means that he exists even in your heart, oh Ravana. And you did not recognize him. You did not recognize the one with whom you have such close connection. Paramatma will never leave the Jivatma. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what body the Jivatma takes. Look at the immense mercy of the Lord. Whether we are like pigs, whether we are like trees, whether we are like birds, whether we are like whales, whether we are microbes, He will always be there with us. He will never abandon us. Never. Never abandon us. And even after we die, He will still be with us. Before birth or before the birth in this material body, He was with us. And after we shed this material body also, He will be there with us. So just imagine, what is the strongest bond that we need to build? The person who will never abandon us. And that person is only one. And we should always worship Him with His divine consort. And therefore, it's only Rama, Sita, or according to your love, it's Radha Krishna, or it's Lakshmi Narayana. That's it. There is nobody else who will always be there with us. Nobody. Or is Lakshmi Narasimhadev. Whatever is your, whoever, whatever incarnation is your favorite, that's it. There is nobody else who's always going to be with us. That's why Paramatma Sanatanaha is eternal, that eternal being. So as Paramatma, He is always with us. But how can one person always be with someone else? That one person should always be Sanatanaha. That means that there is no end to him. He is eternal. Anadi Madhya Nidhano. That means He has no beginning, no middle, and Madhyam. There is no Adi. That means beginning. Madhyam means middle, and no Nidhano. That means that there is no end. There is no beginning, no middle, no end to this Lord. We cannot say, oh, at the beginning, Rama was like this, and then at the end, he is going to be like this. No. There is no middle, beginning, or end to this person. Because he is Sanatanaha. He is eternal. Mahataha Paramo Mahan. So, Mahataha, amongst the great people, Paramo Mahan. He is greater than the greatest. He is greater than the greatest. So, Ravana thought that he is very great. He thought he was so great that he boasted of his opulence in front of Sita Ma. In front of the goddess of wealth, he boasted his opulence. Don't you know that I'm so powerful? I am the master of 32 crores of Rakshasas. I have countless palaces. If you want, let me give some annuity to your father. King Janaka, this is the boast of Ravana. Don't you know how mighty I am? Don't you know how powerful I am? Don't you know how rich I am? This was the boast of Ravana. And Mandodari says, Rama is Mahata Paramo Mahan, greater than the greatest. Tamasa Paramo Dhata, Shanka Chakra Gadadhara. So Tamasa Paramo Dhata. So he is greater than the ones who always give things, Dhata. He's greater than all of that. Shanka Chakra Gadadhara. So he's always wielding the Shanka Chakra and Gada. So just because he's in the human form and he has only the Sharachapa Tuni, so that means that it's you're thinking that he's wielding only the bow, the arrows, and his sword, but no, he is actually the Shanka Chakra Gadadhara. Shrivatsa Vaksha, on his chest, Vakshastal means on his chest, Shrivatsa, the curl of Shrivatsa is there. Nitya Shri Rajyayaha, he is always ruling the world. Shashvato, that means he's eternal. Dhruva, that means he's determined. Dhruvam means he's determined. Manusham Rupamasthaya. Yes, he is looking like a human being, but he is Vishnu Satya Parakramaha. Even though he is looking like a human being, do not be fooled. He is, in fact, he is Lord Vishnu himself. He is Satya Parakrama. So Ravana boasted, oh, look at me, look at how powerful I am. I am so great, I'm so strong, blah, blah, blah. Then ultimately what happened? Now what happened to all of his power? Nothing. So his Parakrama, his valor, was not truly valorous. It was not truly valorous. Whereas Rama is truly valorous. Ramam Satya Parakramam. Over here she's saying Vishnu Satya Parakramam. Sarve Parivritto Deve. So Sarvehi. So everywhere. Parivritto means he was surrounded. Dever. That means the celestials, Devatas. Vanaratvam Upagatahi. The Vanaras are in fact the Devatas. Sarva Lokeshwaraha. Sarva Lokeshwaraha. He is the master of all the lokas. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita 5.29? What does he say? He says that he is the master of all the lokas. Suhridam sarvabhutana gnatva mam shantim rachati. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. I am the beneficiary of all sacrifices. Sarva loka maheshwaram. I am the master of all the lokas. Suhridam sarvabhutanam gnatva mam shantim rachati. The one who understands this fact is always going to be very peaceful. So, what is the opposite meaning of this? Unless and until we know that Rama is the beneficiary of all sacrifices, unless and until we know that he is the master of all the universes, unless and until we know that he is the best friend of all the living entities, we will never be happy. We will never have peace. And therefore, Mandodari is saying that Rama is the Sarva Loka Ishvara. Ishvara means he is the controller. So he's Maheshwaram, he is Ishvara, Parameshwara. So all of these, Ishvara means controller. So we have great devatas, and we also have Lord Shiva, who is also known as Ishvara. We discussed that during the Rameshwaram, during the Setu Bandhan pastime. We discussed all of that. So I don't want to get into it again. Yeah, so he is so powerful that he is Sarva Lokeshwaraha. So the very fact that Ravana did not know that he is the master of all the universes, he is the master of all the universes. It's Sarva. Sarva means it's everything. Sarva Lokam means everything. Every world. That means that Ravana was never peaceful. He never really had that peace of mind. It was never really there. It was never there. And what does he keep on telling Sita Ma? Why are you running behind this Rama? He doesn't even have a kingdom. He doesn't even have a kingdom. He was exiled. He ran away from the kingdom to please one woman. That's what he used to say. What did Sita Ma tell the Rakshasis? What did Rakshasis say? The Rakshasis also said the same thing. Why are you running after Rama? Oh, Sita, so Rama has got no kingdom. Then what did Mother Sita say in Sundarakand? Dinova, Rajyahinova, Yome Bharta, Some Guru. Dinova, you may think that he has no money, but actually he is the richest of all. Rajyahinova, you may think that he has no kingdom, but he is Sarvaloke Maheshwaram. Yome Bharta, Some Guru. So how do you expect me to not follow the person who is known as Dharmajna, Dharmatma, Dharmavit? How do you expect me to not follow this particular person? So now Mandodari is saying, oh, don't you know, my dear Ravana, that Rama is Sarva Lokeshwaraha. He is Shrinam. Shriman. Shriman means he is very auspicious. Very auspicious. See, we have Buddhiman, we have Balavan, we have Vidvan. Shriman means the one who always has Shri with him. Shri is none other than Mother Lakshmi. Shriman means in this, so usually we have also heard Shriman Hanuman Namavan, we have also heard that as well. But in this particular context, because she has already established the fact that Lord Rama is Mahavishnu himself, she says that he is Shriman. That means that there is never really a point in time when he is away from Mahalakshmi. So Mahalakshmi is always with him. And you wanted that particular Lakshmi, who is not yours, who is always Lord Narayana's. Lokanam hita kamyaya. Kamyaya, kam means what? Desire. Kama means desire. So Lokanam means to all the worlds, hita kamyaya. So this is the equivalent to Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. So the best friend of all the living entities. So that is Lord Krishna. Lord Rama is always thinking about the benefit of all the living entities. It means exactly the same thing. It's just another, you can just say it's just a synonym of Suhridam Sarva Bhutana. So over here is Lokana Hitakam Yaya. The one who is always thinking about the benefit of all the living entities, of all the worlds, not just from Bhuloka, not just from one small tiny kingdom, not just from even one universe, but all the universes put together, not just in the material world, But even in the spiritual world, unimaginable. Lokanam. In one word, everything is included. Lokanam hitam kamyaya. Hita means it's always beneficial. Hit is always beneficial. So Rama is always thinking about the benefit of all the living entities. Rakshasa parivaram hatavastvam mahadutihi. So now parivaram means the family of Rakshasas is completely destroyed by this particular person. By this person. And then she says, Ravana, you did not pay attention to a single thing that I told you. So Valmiki per se has not mentioned any conversations between Mandodari and Ravana. He has not mentioned anything like that. But from here, we can understand that in the side, on the background, Mandodari was constantly telling Ravana, please don't do this. This is not right. This is not correct. And it looks as if Ravana obviously ignored whatever Mandodari had to say. So, if you don't like the advice of a person, it is a common behavior. It's a common human nature that if we don't like the advice that one person is giving us, we will think, oh, this person has an ulterior motive. There is some other agenda. There is something else in there. That's why he's speaking like this, so that I get wounded. So you remember he said something similar like this to Vibhishana. He said that women are fickle, and women are known for being fickle, and kinsmen are known to be traitors. He says this just before the Vibhishana Sharanagati pastime. And over here, it's quite likely that he thought, oh, Mandodari is just jealous of Sita. But was Mandodari jealous of Sita? Let us look at the next thing. So she says, from where did you get this infatuation for Sita? Why? Because of that Sita, oh Ravana, your riches, your friends, your relatives, sons, and your citizens have all been killed. They have been wiped out. The love that Sita has for Rama is unimaginable. And you carried this Sita away, and now she shows what her now she shows her reaction to Sita. He says, even though I am just as beautiful as Sita, na kulena, na rupena, na dakshanyena maithili, maya dhikava tulyava tvantu mohanna buddhyase. Na kulena, her lineage, na rupena, her beauty, her physical beauty, na dakshanyena Maithili, no, not in her looks. Maithili, that means the daughter of the king of Mithila. Mayadhika, bigger than me. Mai means me, Adhika means superior, Mayadhika means greater than me. Va Tulyava, she was not even my equal. Tulya means equivalent. So he says that in lineage or in form or in beauty, she was not even my equal, let alone my superior. Then what made you be so infatuated with this Sita? Aha. This is the reason why Mandodari should not be counted as a bhaktin. Yes, she spoke some very beautiful verses of praise towards Lord Rama. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Very beautiful. Or everything was correct. Whatever she said, he is without a beginning, middle, and end. He is greater than the greatest. He is the one who is always giving things. He is the one who is wielding the Shankha Chakra and the Gada. He has the Srivatsa. He is so perfect. He is so determined. He might be in the form of a human being, but he is actually the most powerful. He is Lord Vishnu himself, and who was surrounded by the Devatas. He is the Lord of all the universes. He is the most auspicious one. He is always thinking about the best of all the living entities. And yeah, and because of him, all the Rakshasas were killed. Are these true? Oh, absolutely. However, she should not be considered as a Bhaktin because she was jealous towards Sita Ma. She was very jealous. न कुलेन न रूपेण दाक्षिण्येन मैथिली मयादिका वा तुल्या वा तन to mohanna bhutyase. Why? Why would he? Mohan means very infatuating, very enchanting. So that's why Krishna is known as Madan Mohan. He's so handsome that even Kama or Madan, who is Cupid, the god of love, even the god of love is also enchanted by his beauty. And Radharani is known as Madana Mohana Mohini. So she is the one who can enchant the one who can enchant Kama. So these are all very common names. And we can see Mohan means the one who is very enchanting. Mohan. And she's saying, why were you so infatuated with that with this Sita? So over here it's not really enchanting. It means in this context, it means you were infatuated. Why were you so infatuated with this Sita? She's not even my equal, let alone my superior, as in terms of my kula or my rupa or in Dakshinya. So why were you so infatuated? So this is why we should not include Mandodari as a bhaktin. A bhakta means we worship Rama, Sita together, Krishna, Radha together, Krishna, Rukmini together, or Narasimhadev and Lakshmi together, or Lakshmi Narayana together, Lakshmi Vishnu together. We worship them together. We should not split them up. We cannot worship one and be jealous of the other. We cannot want one and say that I don't want the other. No. None of those things are going to work out. Absolutely none of those things will work out. And therefore, because of her jealousy towards Mother Sita, do not count Mandodari as a bhaktin. And then Lord Rama decides to, I'm sorry, and then Mandodari continues. Vibhishana was a righteous one, and now he followed the path of bhakti, and now he is now happy. He has already gotten the kingdom of Lanka, and she is without sons, without husband, and she has nothing. And previously, she used to travel on the Pushpak Viman with Ravana. She used to go on Kailasa, Mandara, and Meru. She was the daughter of Maya Danava. She was the wife of mighty Ravana, the mother of the mighty Indrajit. And now she has no one. And if Ravana was so proud of his strength, why did he have to resort to stealing Sita? All these people advised Ravana, Maya, the father-in-law, Kumbhakarna, Maricha, all of them advised him. But why didn't he listen? Now he is causing her so much pain, and yet her heart is not breaking into thousand pieces. And she laments, she falls into a swoon, and she looks like a lightning flash. She's also very fair, she's also very beautiful. Just remember that even Hanuman for a split second thought that this could be Mother Sita. So she is very beautiful, she is very young, she's very graceful, and all that. And she looks like a lightning in the cloud when she's lying on the chest of Ravana. All the other wives are lifting her up, consoling her, and all that. And then Rama tells Vibhishana, Vibhishana, I want you to perform the last rites of your brother. And send all the ladies back to the palace. Vibhishana says, but my dear Rama, this Ravana was a very sinful person. He was a dharmic. He carried away the wives of others. Somehow or the other, my mind is not willing to do this funeral rites, my dear Rama. So tyakta adharma vratan, adharmam, kruram, nrishamsam, anritam tatha, kruram. He was so cruel. Naham arho asmi samskritam paradara bimarshakam. So he used to steal the wife of others. How am I supposed to do this funeral rites, my dear Rama? Because he was so sinful. Nrishamsam. He was so sinful. How should I do the funeral rites of this Ravana? And then he says, Rama is actually very pleased because Vibhishana is so righteous. Vibhishana is so righteous that he doesn't want to do something for an unrighteous person. He says, this is my wish. It is my wish that your brother's funeral rites be performed. See, even after Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Narasimhadev himself, Narasimhadev asked Prahlad Maharaj to go ahead and do the funeral rites for Hiranyakashipu. Narasimhadev asked him to do that. The same thing goes on with Ravana as well. So Rama asked Vibhishana to do the funeral rites. Of course, the Hiranyakashipu and Ravana did not get full mukti because of that specialized curse that they had to endure because they were rude to Sanat Kumar, to the Kumara brothers. So they were rude, and so they incurred this curse of being born as Rakshasas for 3 lifetimes. And the Lord himself says, I promise that I will come and I will kill you in battle, and so I will shorten your time as Rakshasas. He says that. And so that's why Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha or Ravana and Kumbhakarna don't go back to the spiritual world, even though it was Lord Varaha and Narasimha and Lord Rama who killed them. So they had to wait for Krishna to kill them as Shishupala and Dantavakra. They had to wait. They had to wait till then. But still, Narasimhadev asked Prahlad Maharaj to do the funeral rites for Hiranyakashipu. And the same thing Lord Rama is also saying. Enmity should all die down. It's all okay. You shouldn't have any bitter feelings after that. Marnanantani vairani nirvritam na prayojanam kritamasya sanskara mamapesya yathatava. It's the same thing he said a couple of verses ago. There you go. Same thing. 109th chapter. And then he repeats the same thing in the 111th chapter as well. Don't worry. It is okay. It is fine. Just forget about it. And then Vibhishana says, okay, this is what my beloved Lord Rama wants. And he sends all the royal ladies back to the palace, and he conducts the funeral rites of Ravana with full Vedic traditions, the full honors and everything. He consoles the ladies because Mandodari and others had also come to the cemetery, to the crematorium, and Vibhishana sends them back. And then Vibhishana comes and stands in front of Lord Rama, and he's very reverent towards the Lord. And Rama is very happy because he has Sugriva and Vibhishana and Lakshmana and everyone. He's very happy. And the devatas are extremely happy because Ravana is dead, and they talk about Rama's prowess in the battle, the how skilled Vanaras were, the advice of Sugriva, the valor of Lakshmana, the loving bond between Rama and Lakshmana, and the loyalty of Mother Sita. So this is essentially bhaktas are talking about the Lord and his other bhaktas. So we should always think of the Lord in association with bhaktas. Because unless and until we do that, we will not be following the path set by the Shastras or the Shastra prescribed method. And therefore, this was adopted by the gurus, the sadhus as well. The Shastra prescribed method is to always worship the Lord in association with other bhaktas. So look at the Lord through the eyes of Shastra. Look at the Lord through the eyes of other devotees. So when we are reading the description of Lord Rama, it's not that someone has just jotted it down. It is that this is how Narada Muni saw Lord Rama, and therefore he is saying this. This is how Janaka saw Lord Rama, therefore he is saying this. This is how Sumanti saw Rama, so he's saying this. This is how our beloved Hanuman saw Rama, therefore he is saying this. So we need to see the Lord through the eyes of these great bhaktas. These great bhaktas have seen the Lord. So we need to see the Lord through these eyes. And that's it. And when we look at the Lord in association with devotees, in association with his devotees, then our viewpoint is correct. We are following the sadhu, shastra, and guru prescribed method of seeing the Lord. Because imagine, who is the Lord and who are we? We are tiny little insignificant brainless beings, and the Lord is everything. We are nothing and the Lord is everything. And who are we to look at the Lord through our eyes? Let us look at the Lord through the eyes that are bona fide. Through bona fide eyes. That's how we should see him. The bona fide eyes are the eyes of Hanuman, the eyes of Narada Muni, the eyes of King Janaka, the eyes of Ayodhyavasis, the eyes of Valmiki, the eyes of beautiful lotus petal-like eyes of Sita Ma. These are bona fide eyes. So we should see the Lord through these eyes. So Rama says, Matili, you can go back to Indraloka and please give Indra also my great affection, my tidings, you please tell him everything and all that. Then Rama embraces Sugriva and he goes to where the army is encamped. And then he tells Lakshmana, Lakshmana, can you please go to Lanka And can you please crown Vibhishana as the king of Lanka? So imagine Saptami, that means on Dashami, he is about to go back. So all of these events take place, the lament and all those things, they took place on Saptami. Uh, so that means it's just 2 days remaining for the Lord to go back to just 2 days were remaining for the Lord to go back to Ayodhya. And still, he did not break the promise to his father. 2 days. Ordinary beings, it's just 2 days. It's already done. I'm almost packing up. I'm almost going. It's fine. Just let me just go. No, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He doesn't break his promise to his father. Right up till the last minute, he doesn't do it. And I don't know if everyone recalls this or not, but Sugriva would take the Vanaras and go inside the kingdom of Lanka and fight. But Rama used to stand outside and shoot arrows and destroy the palaces and mansions from outside. His arrows will go where he chose not to go. His arrows will go over there. It's not that there is a place where the Lord cannot go. He is Sarva Vyapi. He is Vasudeva. He is Vishnu. By the very definition, he means that he is all pervading. Vishnu means there is not a single place where he does not exist. He is all pervading. And yet he chose not to go to fulfill the promise to his father. This is Rama. So he sends Lakshmana, because Lakshmana is Dvitiya Antaratma. Lakshmana is Dvitiya Antaratma. Eshame Parama Kamo Yadiman Ravananujam. That means the younger brother of Ravana, Lankayam Saumya Pashyayam Abhishektam Vibhishanam. Oh, Saumya, gentle one. Who is he calling gentle one? Oh, Lakshmana, my gentle one, go and crown Vibhishana as the king of Lanka. He says, Ravananujam. He is a younger brother of Ravana. So imagine Rama killed the leader of two very powerful kingdoms, Kishkinda and Lanka. Two very opulent kingdoms, Kishkinda and Lanka. But not for a single second, he thinks that he has to sit on that throne. Not for a single second. Why? Because there is no renunciate like Rama. No renunciate like Rama. There is nobody like the Supreme Lord. So he just gives it off to his friends. He just gives it. Does it belong to the Lord? Yes, because he is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. It belongs to the Lord. He gives it off. So kind, so renounced. And then Lakshmana is very happy, and he hastens to comply with this request. So the monkeys, they rush, they bring the waters from the 4 oceans. And then they seat Vibhishana on the high throne. Lakshmana bathes in, and then Lakshmana crowns Vibhishana with a pure mind. And all the Vanaras, whoever, all the Rakshasas, whoever is still alive, they're all rejoicing at this great auspicious event that has taken place at such a sad time. The Ravana was killed. It was a very sad time. But still, the beautiful thing has happened. Vibhishana is crowned the king. And then Vibhishana had received lots of wonderful things, and he gives all of them to Lord Rama. Rama accepts them, but he doesn't use anything. He doesn't use any of the royal paraphernalia. He just accepts them And that's it. Kritakaryam samriddhartam drishtva Ramo Vibhishanam prati jagraha tat sarvam, everything, tasyeva priya kamyaya. And just to please, just to satisfy Vibhishana, he does this. Okay, so from this part on, this is actually part of that same chapter. That's why it's included in here. But from this part on, let us go on to, let us do this in the next class. And it's going to be a very, very, very tough topic. It is the Agni Pravesham topic. We'll complete the topic tomorrow, but at least we are definitely going to start it. And it's a very tough topic, but we should be able to understand it because we have been reading Ramayana from the very beginning. We know the bond between Rama and Sita. So I'm going to stop here. Does anyone have any questions?